Would help if I added my video to the screen. Hey, everybody, hope you're doing well. Nikki T here. Um, Back at it. Yeah, I saw. Hey, Anthony, good to see you, man. Yeah, I saw you pushed a crap ton of code. I was camping and I came back and I saw it on GitHub there. But yeah, are we streaming Friday? I couldn't remember when we were. Let me check my schedule. I feel like if you say we are, we are. But oh yeah, we're hanging 2 p.m. Eastern on Friday. So yeah, cool, nice. Also, for people tuning in, if you're over on Twitch, go ahead and give AGC Web Dev a follow. Oh, video now too. Whoa, nice. Yeah, there's some good stuff to chat about. We've started to use a project called Opus Clips at work, so I think it's just kind of interesting to talk about that too. But yeah, I'm interested to hang, man. Um, cool. Hope you're doing well. Yeah. So what are we doing today? So I was where was I? I was camping, but that's not what I mean. Um, I was in the Goose Discord from the awesome folks over at Block Open Source, and I saw one of their videos, and I've seen this on X and a few other places, but um, basically MCP-ui. Here, I might as well just share my screen, and that's a cough. All right, not this, but MCP-ui. Where is it? Yeah. It's from I'm not sure how to pronounce their name, but it's either Ido or Ido Salomon. Um, Basically, uh, model context protocol (MCPs). Um, you know, they're catching like wildfire. I actually built out one recently, like an actual one, not just like let me do a demo kind of thing. But if we go over to Dev 2, let me just grab it here. So I created a Dev 2 MCP server, which is super handy for me at least. And I thought it was just a fun way to leverage the API for MCPs, not for MCPs, but a fun way to leverage the Dev 2 API. So there was that. Let me just go paste this over on LinkedIn, and I'll always give my standard LinkedIn message of if you're streaming on LinkedIn, apparently you have the audio there. I don't think anybody could hear that, just me. But you have to actually be logged in watching your own live stream on LinkedIn to be able to post on it. And it's Ian Douglas from Block that told me about this. And I get it in terms of spamming people. Like you don't want people spamming you, just like, drive by comments of whatever. But if you're the person running the live stream or a guest on it, like somebody who's invited as a speaker, it seems kind of weird that you would kind of say like you can't post it because you're not logged in. But anyways, that's my only kind of gripe there. But anyways, post it over there. So the Dev 2 MCP server, it does pretty much what you think it does. So like, let's just open up VS Code here. I've had a bit of a busy day, so I not completely set up here, but that's okay. So let's go to yeah, the MCP app demo. Okay, so let's just start up a few things here. So, and if you're wondering what the MCP app demo is, it's this sucker. I built this out initially as a demo for the AI World Fair earlier in June this year, and we did use it, and it was good that we had it, and then started building more and more on it. And whoops, I didn't mean to post that in Twitch a second time. I meant to post that on LinkedIn. So this is the MCP app demo, and even though it's called a demo, it's kind of full fledged. It doesn't have saved conversations, but it's like it does real stuff. So like if I just start this up and I should deploy this at some point. It's because I was building with it, but I'm just gonna forward a port. I have this running through Pomerium because that's what this demo is for. So essentially, this is gated by zero trust security. We using our IdentityWare proxy. Um, so you can see here, there's this URL, but and this is just my development setup. Like you normally wouldn't have a public URL that you forward to in Pomerium. It's usually like publicly accessible URL. Um, oh, cool. Thanks, man. Thanks. I don't know who Google AI. Oh, I guess your account is just Google AI account one. I'm not sure. It's not showing up in my chat as an actual name. Uh, yeah, the MCP stuff's pretty interesting. Also, thanks for joining, man. This is up and running. Okay, cool. So if we go to dev.mcp, maisonlab.dev, this is just like my kind of demo grounds. Now, it's a little slow to load sometimes. That's just because it's going from my local dev machine to DigitalOcean. But so we can see here, I have a dev2 MCP set up here. You don't see me having to log in or anything, but essentially, this is gated by Pomerium, and the MCP servers are too. But the way this demo works, if you're using Pomerium, is there. This is an MCP client you're looking at, and then there's the MCP servers. They're all gated by Pomerium, so the login flow happens, policy checks to see if you're actually allowed to access this particular route, which is an application. If you are, then you get logged in, and then because you're logged in, we already have your information. We just kind of to load up the MCP servers, we know that you're already going to be authenticated to them and pass the policies. If you for certain MCPs, you might not have access to all of them, but that's why you're not seeing a login flow here right now. But I can do stuff like what are and let's just go get Anthony's because I forget. I'm guessing you're just AJC Web Dev over here. Yeah. Okay. So let's do this. So we'll just say get AGC Web Dev's latest articles. And so you're going to see here, it's going to make a tool call. And then it's going to show up saying it's hitting the dev2 MCP, shows you what tools are available. And then if we come down here a bit, you're going to see it made a tool call to get the articles. And then you can see here, these are, I don't know if this is your most recent ones, Anthony. I know you blog in a few places and maybe you blog less here now, but anyways, we get the information back. So that's cool. That's an MCP server I made. And now I had this idea of I was just like I was looking to register a domain today because um my just for testing other stuff for Pomerium, so like which I can show you in a sec. But um, essentially, I wanted to get another kind of like almost kind of like a throwaway domain, so I can just use it for demos and stuff. And so I was gonna register like NikkiTOnline.lol, but it's like a buck something the first year, and then it's like $12, which is not a lot, I know, but I'm like, I just don't need another domain, so I'm just gonna use an existing one I had. And then I just got on this tangent of I saw the mcp-ui stuff again, and I was like, I posted about owning swoledevs.com. So if you go to this is literally the website. It's just does this. It's nothing exciting. Um, I had intentions at some point to do something workout related with it. I haven't yet. And then I was like, why don't I build an MCP server that serves up like, you can get workout information and stuff, Maybe people will use it, maybe they won't, I don't know, but I was like, I think it'd make for a cool demo and it's potentially useful too. So that's kind of where I'm coming from. And I'm just gonna go check on the socials here. B Sky, what's going on over there? Okay, cool. All right. It's I don't usually stream at this time. I was gonna stream yesterday, and then I had to go to the dentist in the morning, and half my face was frozen for like pretty much most of the day. So it's like I probably if I went on stream, I probably would have sounded like Rocky or something. So I opted not to. And then I was gonna do some live streaming this morning, which is normally when I do it. But I just needed to get some stuff done for work because I just got back from camping last week. So that's the TLDR there. Um, Let me just check a couple work things. Just gotta check that Slack. Okay, that's good there. Getting tagged in a few places. Okay, yeah, okay, that's something I already did. Let's see here. Okay. My CEO just posted something which I will read after. So we'll say in like 3 hours reminder. And um okay, just gotta check a couple other things and then we'll get back to regular scheduled programming. All right. Let's see here. Yeah, okay. Yeah, no problem. Okay, cool. All right. Let's get back to it. We getting swole. Yes, we are, Charles. So yeah, so basically also thanks for joining, man. So what I was saying was because I think you just joined, but so I've been doing a lot of stuff in the MCP space. So I built out this MCP client, which you see here. I used it for demos and stuff, for work for like the AI World Fair and stuff. But basically, uh, I built the Dev 2 MCP server recently, so you can see that in action here. So I was just saying, get my friend Anthony's latest articles, and then you see it, the MCP server, which is wired up to the Dev 2 API, just gives you back some information. Can even do stuff like, I don't know, get me the latest React articles. And with natural language, it's going to figure out which tool call needs to be done. So it's going to say get articles. And you're going to see here it adds a tag for React. So I don't know. I'm pretty happy with this MCP server, to be honest. And it was pretty cool. Goose, the people at Goose actually used it in some of their demos. So I felt pretty good about that. Um, Hey, Deagle TG, thanks for joining. I They can be just a wrapper for APIs, but they probably shouldn't just be that. That is one way you could use them. So, like for example, this Dev2 MCP server I made, it's kind of a one-to-one mapping. Like each tool is maps to one API call in Dev2's API, but you know in the real world, like let's think of something like a classic example people talk about is like, I want to book a flight or something. I don't know if people actually do this yet with MCP servers, but like there's people that do demos around this stuff. But like, you know, I was on a live stream with Tejas Kumar. It's like a month and a half ago, I think, and he gave like a very good example of how like an MCP server could handle something. So you could be like, okay, here's my budget, 900 Canadian. I need to fly to, I don't know, uh, New York City. I have to be there at this date, before this time. So, and then I'm coming back on, I don't know, 3 days later or something. I also need a hotel. Like basically all the standard stuff you'd need for to travel. You just give your requirements what you need. That's definitely not going to be a one-to-one mapping, like in terms of API wrapper. It could call other services. I mean, at the end of the day, there's probably going to be API calls made, obviously, but I think there's a grouping of them also, like determining when they should be called, or like, you know so I wouldn't say, yeah, I wouldn't say it's just an API wrapper. There are services that I think literally just do that, like all these API services out there that have MCP servers now, that I think is literally just a one-to-one mapping. But But yeah, they are just okay. Yeah, so Diggle TG is saying, yeah, they are just tools. Description of a bunch of functions which get returned to the AI engine as a list of tools. I feel like all of these AI tools are just normal things, but developed for AI. Well, they kind of are, yeah. I'm not being sarcastic. Like the the other thing too is obviously we already have existing APIs out there, but to call them an agentic flows, it make I don't know. I think it makes sense with the tools and stuff. You know, um, I've only really been messing around with MCPs since I guess May, which is actually pretty early, I guess, since it only came out last November. But yeah, it's at the end of the day, tool calls are just functions, and functions are probably going to call APIs. You're right there. But I think it's just maybe how they get cobbled together and I don't know. I guess that's the difference. Um, but at the end of the day, you're gonna have to get data somehow, and APIs are already there. I think also, leveraging the APIs just allows for reuse in a different context. But anyways, um, but yeah, appreciate the chatter. Okay, so yeah, so basically that's what this MCP server is. And there's other cool stuff which I don't know. I'll just show real quickly. This is not an MCP server, but I implemented OpenAI's response, sorry, code interpreter tool, so I can do stuff like get me the latest. I don't know. Let's say get my own Nikki T Online's latest articles and create a pie chart breaking down the tags for each article. So what this is going to do is it's going to do a tool call again, or it should, if it goes eventually. Maybe I broke something. I don't know. Let's see here. Did something die? Let's go see here. This is just running on my local right now. So, okay, let's try this again. Boom. Come on, buddy. Let's just refresh this. Okay. Like I said, it loads not okay. It's actually loading pretty fast right now, but this is my going from my development environment. Interesting. What does it not like? Oh, there we go. Just that's one thing with agentic. You never know when it starts or ends, I guess. So it gets the articles that of mine, and then it's running this Python code in the cloud. So it's running in a container that's ephemeral. It's gonna build this pie chart, and then it's gonna generate the pie chart, and I'll be able to download it as an asset, and then the ephemeral container disappears. And then you can see here I definitely have a lot of tags related to all those recent articles, but I don't know. That's kind of cool. Okay, so that said, I want to build out a new MCP server. So the idea is I own this domain, Swole Devs, which just has that funny animation. Uh, Again, like I said, I was originally gonna, I don't know what I was gonna do with this. Try and do some kind of exercise program for devs or whatever. Yeah, zero trust. Yeah, exactly. That's what we are. That's Pomerium. That's where I work. So we're an identity aware proxy. So that's gets slapped on top here. So you can have like a public MCP server. You can secure it with OAuth, which is in the spec now, which is great, but it's still not enough. Because you can still get access to things, but with the identity aware proxy and zero trust, you get these fine grained policies. So with just OAuth, you can say okay, Nick can access this thing or this MCP server with the uh, you know uh, dynamic context aware policies. I might have access to it, but I don't have access to it now, etc. Um, So it's pretty neat, and we handle at the tool call level, not just the MCP server. And Deagle TG saying, I interviewed for a zero trust PAM company called Strong DM, which was trying to make coding agents for writing code for on-prem infra that companies have. They had a vibe coding round as one of the interviews. Yeah, that's using AI in interviews is becoming, I don't want to say it's the norm, but it's definitely starting to happen. I know Meta is doing this now. Shopify encourages it. Um, you know, I think it makes sense because I realistically, like, I use AI every day. Um, anybody can, well, not anybody maybe, but a lot of people can just say build me something with AI and it'll do it, but that's only like half the battle, like a lot of times, feeding in like a PRD or something is a better way to get something to start your vibe coding, or however you approach it. You know, you have to communicate things well, and I think that's kind of what they look for in the interview as well. How are you leveraging the AI tools? Not just you can use them. So it's interesting times, that's for sure, and it's I don't know. Interviewing has never been perfect by any means, so this is just another thing in the mix now. But how did you find the leveraging vibe coding during an interview, Deagle? Okay, so they're trying to evaluate you during that round. I was just talking about what I'm doing and clarifying all the details I could ask. Yeah, that kind of checks out with what I was just saying there, Deagle. Like, how are you interacting with the agentic tools? Are you communicating things properly? Um, not that, you know, programming skills mean nothing anymore. They're still important. I think it's just a question of, still being critical, even though it's AI generated, not just taking it, at face value. So that's probably what they were looking for, I'm guessing. But cool, cool. Okay, yeah, yeah. Yeah, I'm enjoying Cloud Code too. I use VS Code as well. So I use uh, GitHub Copilot as well. But like, um, yeah, Claude Code is definitely nice, and there's also Open Code. I don't know if you've seen that one. This is from the SST people. So like they're here. So basically, it's uh, it's got a nicer TUI, I think, like terminal user interface in open code. They're the same people that do terminal.shop. So I don't know if you've ever seen that, but like you can order coffee. Um, we actually, where I work, after we had a solid release, basically we were allowed to order coffee from the terminal shop. So you go here and basically, I don't know, it's a nice experience. I'm in Canada, so I can't order the coffee here, but when I was in the States recently, I VPN'd in Montreal to order it, and then I picked it up when I was at my hotel. But it's the same people as this. But yeah, I'm enjoying Claude. I'm like I said, I'm also messing around with Open Code. There's also another one if you haven't seen it yet. Continue.dev. My couple old coworkers work there. That one's a neat one too. Drop that in the chat. Open Hands. I feel like I've heard of that name, but it doesn't sound that familiar. Let's go Open Hands. Oh yeah, okay. I recognize the avatar. Let's see what allhands.dev. Let's see what this is. Let's check the pricing too. Okay, $20. That seems kind of like standard what most are doing. Um, Open source, get it on GitHub, run Open Hands locally. Okay, so you can leverage your own API keys and stuff. That's cool. Let's try it live and see. Log in with GitHub, authorize. Boom. And while that's going on, I'm just checking my LinkedIn. There we go. Let's get back here. Cool. All right. Sure, I accept it. Does this mean I have to give a kidney or something? Find out. So connect to a repository. Okay. Sure. Let's go to my okay feature add. Okay, what's OpenHAND makes it easy to build and maintain software using AI development. I'm not sure why I can't. Oh, maybe it's because it's a try it live. I can't pick it. I don't know. Or I have to explicitly add it. But we could go to. Let's see here. What if I do this? Launch. Oh yeah, all good. And a wild Charles appears on YouTube. You are working on issue. Okay, micro agent ready. Okay, I don't want it to actually implement anything. So, but basically, okay, okay, let's just stop that. But and of course, I can't stop it. All right. Looks like I'm shipping something. Uh, there we go. Stop. Okay, that's something I might check out too. So allhands.dev. Cool. All right. There we go. Let's go add that under AI tools. Cool. So getting back to what, yeah, classic. Getting back to kind of what I was gonna do today. We'll see how far we get, but where is it? Yeah. So I already have an MCP template that I use. So where is it? Template. There we go. This is pretty new, this project, but this is what I'm gonna start using for building MCP servers. It's using the MCP TypeScript SDK, and I have kind of three modes to it. There's like just public mode where you don't have any auth. Then there's OAuth, which isn't finished. I have to finish that. Seems to be working, but I'm gonna have to merge that. And then basically, because I work at Pomerium, you basically don't need to really do anything in terms of OAuth because the Identiware proxy handles that. So I would just kind of deploy this like bare behind Pomerium, and then basically the IDP would handle the OAuth flow. And if I did have some upstream service, Pomerium would still handle that too. But so that's kind of the idea. So let's say use this template, create a new repository, and I was just gonna call it Swole dash MCP. Choose an owner, Nikki T online. Okay. Does that I don't even know if that command works, Deagle, but if you are looking for me on LinkedIn, I'll just drop this in case that doesn't work. If you go to nikki.t.online, that has all my links. You can check it out. Oh, okay. Cool. Yeah, okay. So we've got Swole MPC here. So let's start off with that. All right. We're working on this now. Boom. Swole MCP. Just add a space here. Boom. Cool. And I'll just go drop this over on good old LinkedIn. And we're building. There we go. Cool. So that's good. So let's go ahead and just clone this. So let's copy that and let's go to VS Code. Let's see here. This one I'm going to leave running for now. So let's just do, whoops, create a new one. This one I'm going to go hide over here because we don't need it. Let's come into here and let's go dev OSS. Let's make this a little bigger for the folks in the back. Not to enter, but you might want to update the name Swole-MCP. Oh, did I just call it that? Wait. Oh, I wrote MPC. Nice. All right. Yes, I am going to rename that. MCP. That is called Fat Fingers. Do people say Fat Fingers still? I don't know, but that's what it was. I just don't know how to type. All right, let's go. I could rename it to Swole NPC, and then it's like this super jacked NPC, maybe. Okay, let's rename it. Where the heck is that? Rename. There we go. MCP. Yes, it is available. Cool. There we go. Thank you, Charles. Okay. Actually, swole fingers. Yeah, the fingers are too jacked. I was like in the gym. I was like, "Eh." It's like I, I've got little veins popping out of my fingers. Okay. Actually, first thing I'm gonna do is before I clone this is I've been using Git work trees. I came about those recently. I've been enjoying that flow. So let's just call this Mictor Swole MP MCP. Why did I do MPC again? All right. Swole right there. We're gonna clone it and we're gonna call it main. And then now I should have like work tree list. There's none showing right now because oh, I'm not in the work tree. Hold on a sec. Let's do cd main and then let's do code main. Okay. So now there's no work trees to list, but we come here. Why did that not open? Code dash r main. I'm on main. Okay. Uh, ls. Yeah, it's all there. So what's going on? Weird. Oh, I know what I did wrong. Code there. Don't save. All right, there we go. Yeah, I don't know if I'd want like some AI gym butt on roids or something. It'd be kind of funny, but also scary. Um, Not that you're necessarily on roids if you're swole. That's not what I mean. But I was just thinking, funny it would be if you know AI on steroids in a dangerous way, I guess. But okay, so we've got this up and running. So I'm doing local development right now. So we're gonna start this up, and we'll just install. Ni is just npm install. It's just my short alias in the terminal in the shell. Okay, that's good. So let's do nr dev. All right, everything's running. It's on port 3000. So let's forward a port. I'll explain why in a sec. And port visibility public. So continue. So now we can hit this URL. And if we open this, here's that's normal. I think if we do this, there we go. So we have our MCP server already running. So basically, I'm going to grab this and we're going to log into my DigitalOcean droplet. I'll worry about this after working on something demoing our enterprise cluster. Okay, that's all done. Cool. All right, let's get back here. Let's get out of open code. Okay, we're gonna SSH and we're gonna go to Pomerium. Yeah, okay. So just want to mention this Dev Advocate, interesting. I do a bit of that as well. You go to a lot of events, hackathons. Yeah. I've been giving a bunch of talks recently. Deagle. I'm giving another one at B-Sides Montreal in September. Giving a couple talks at All Things Open. But also, like, I've been pretty much an engineer most of my career. It's just I've had like developer advocacy tendencies since about 2020, but I've always been full-time engineering. This is the first time I've just gone officially as a developer advocate, but definitely love tinkering still. So the thing I wanted to mention here is uh, I'm SSHing into my DigitalOcean droplet, but I'm actually using Zero Trust here. So I'm using Pomerium. So the Identiware proxy, there is an SSH route. It's native SSH. There's no like client, like if you use Tailscale or something. So I'm literally SSHing like the literal SSH command. The user is Pomerium. I'll show this in the config because I have to go update the config to add our new MCP server. The route is called jump, and then the server is mcp.maisonlab.dev. So this might look like an invalid SSH syntax, but apparently the user in this case here at this point is Pomerium at jump, and the server is just mcp.maisonlab.dev. And our awesome engineers here, basically, I think the TLDR is it hits the Identiware proxy. We extract the user, which is the first part before the at, and then we get the route, which is jump, and then we go from there. So I'm going to log in here. So now I'm in my DigitalOcean drop it, and let's go here. Okay, so uh, no secrets in here. That's all in .env files, but this is a Pomerium config, and you can see the routes here. So this is the SSH route I was just talking about, and it's just going internally to Docker address on port 22, which is the standard SSH. And I've got a bunch of other routes here. So um, that's basically what we have here. Now, the interesting thing is when we have port 3000, which is what we're running on here, that's going to be this URL here. So if I click on this, this goes to our MCP server. I was using it for something else before, but I'm going to just go update this, and we'll just call this Swole mcp.maisonlab.dev. It's going to connect to that /MCP. And then we're just going to change this to server. And then the domain is Pomerium, or the domain is nikt.co. That's fine. Okay. So I'm going to save this. And so basically, we will be able to go to here shortly. Like if I go to this, that's not going to resolve right now. There's a couple things I need to do. So I need to save this first. So let's just escape right, quit. And I'm going to do Docker compose restart Pomerium. But before I do that, I just need to go to DigitalOcean. Just going to go and add another domain here. So give me 1 second. Just going to do this off screen, but and did I miss anything in the chat? No. Okay. Okay. I just have to add a record for um, the new one here, the swole.mcp. Just let me sign in here. And I'll just explain a few things in a second. Let's go to networking. That's not where I wanted to go. I wanted to go to marketing playground. Yeah, domains. Let's add another A record. So let's do Swole. And then it's going to be that same droplet. Let's create the record. Okay, that's done. Perfect. Okay, cool. And let's see here. Uh, All right, cool. That's some good news over there. All right, let's get back to it. Okay, so this should, oh, I got to restart Pomerium now. Um, the broken pipe. Oh yeah, I got disconnected because I restarted it. Yeah. So I need to SSH back in, cool. So now let's do this. Now this might not register right away. check if there is. All right, let's do this. Dig swole.mcp.masonlab.dev. Okay, so it's finding it. That's good. All right, let's do Docker log, Docker compose logs dash f Pomerium. Oh, that's not gonna work. Yeah, cd pom demo. Okay, and we'll do grep swole. Okay, so let's see here. Auto cert manager. So a couple things to mention. So I'm using Pomerium Core, so this is the open source version. We have this Go package, or it's like a add-on. It's called Auto cert. So it basically uses Let's Encrypt to register domains. And let's see here. It's saying user unauthenticated, deny false, blah, blah, blah. Swole. Okay. That's fine, but why is it? Let's just go back to dev.mcp. We should see it load up. Give it a second. Oh, I gave it the wrong name. It's showing up as app demo, but let's go fix that. Just call it Swole MCP. Or we'll just call it Swole. Okay, escape right quit. Boom. Okay, back. Let's okay, so it refreshes Swole. Um, there's going to be no tools here, so let's just see here. Uh, get me a biceps workout. Now it's going to try and call it. Okay, that's good. We're getting a tool call error. That's because it can't run, I think. Or do we not expose any tools yet? Let's go see what we got in here. Things running there. I think the issue is it's still not resolving the URL, because if I go to Swole, let me make sure I got the right domain there. Uh, don't think there's anything secret here, but it's just my DigitalOcean dashboard. But give me a second here. I'm just gonna double check I didn't have swole fingers again and put in the wrong A record for DNS. Okay, there. Swole.mcp copy. Okay, so that can't be reached. Okay, that all looks the same. Okay, that's fine. Uh, MCP. I think it's just a question of it's not registered yet. Um, just gonna check the record. Swole.mcp. Yeah, that's good. Okay, it looks good. So let's just bring it back. So if I come here, still not picking it up. Let's check the Docker. Okay, so let's see what it's saying here. Yeah, so auto cert, obtaining certificate, added certificate. Okay, so the swole.mcp.maison labs certificate is there. That's good. Okay, can't reach this page. Yeah, it's DNS probe. It's not working yet. So let's try this. Let's do. Not that. Let's open up a new one. Still not resolving. Let's go to Safari and see here. Okay. Uh, it just takes some time to propagate, I guess. But what we can do for the time being is we could use the same name, I guess. I just want to check a couple other things. Clear, dig. Actually, let's get out of here. Let's do flush DNS. All right, there. Where did I get my Touch ID here? I'm not sure why that didn't. All right, dig swole.mcp.masonlab.dev. Okay, so it's reaching uh, DigitalOcean. That's good. So let's see here. Why are you not picking up there? Let's do ping swole.mcp.masonlab.dev. Okay, cannot resolve. And if we go to here, it should ping. Okay, that's good. Let's see here. That's in the browser. Let's go back to SSH. Dig. That's not what I meant to do. Swole.mcp.masonlab.dev. Okay, it's getting picked up. I probably should have registered this before we got started, but I'll change something if not. But let's come back here and do there. Come on, buddy. I don't think doing a restart will help, but because we can see that the certificate got registered. Because if we look in here, LS Pomerium Auto Cert, um, certificates, LA, it's in there. Hold on a sec. Let's just go to open code. I can't reach swole.mcp.masonlab.dev. I think DNS is still propagating. Run the checks for me. Okay. Interesting that there's bad requests up there. Okay, unknown certificate error. Okay. Alt name does not match IP. Okay. All right. Let's do this. We're on DigitalOcean right now, so let's do this. Let's exit. Exit. Let's do it from my host machine. And okay, let's see what we get. Delegation is correct, but propagation caching is inconsistent. Okay, curl could not resolve host from this network, so couldn't inspect the certs yet. Okay. Um, all right, let's just try this. Let's go exit. Okay, that's fine. Can yeah. All right. You know what? Let's just not worry about this for now. Let's go to back to DigitalOcean, and we're just gonna go to the demo. And for now, I'm just gonna call this dev2. So dev2, and then we'll just call this fix me, escape, right, quit. Cool. And Docker compose, restart, Pomerium, go, boom, back in, cool. All right, now let's come back here. Dev.mcp, Mesolab. Okay, now we should see it load up now. Now Swole should work, because if we look at the routes here, let's do .pomerium MCP routes. We got two servers, so I'm gonna go to the dev2 one, and let's see what we got here. Yeah, unauthorized, sure. Log out. Okay. Who am I signed in as? User info. I think I did something wrong. Anyways, let's go to dev, not dev2, sorry. Dev.mcp. And let's see what tools we got here. What tools do you have? This one should work now. Okay. Access to the MCP Swole plugin. Sure. Okay, so that is working now. Okay. And I'm just gonna go check the Discord. Boop, boop, there. Uh, Remind me in an hour. Okay, I just wanted to check the Discord for Goose. Is it Goose Dev? Go. I can just, I don't need to hide anything here. Let me just bring the Discord over. Goose, oh yeah, here we go. mcp-ui question. Okay. Okay, so they do support mcp-ui. That's good. All right, cool. That's all I needed to know. All right, boom. Let's see here. I imagine Libra chat does too. I've started looking at this as well. And I just want to see mcp-ui. What we got? Yeah, a buffed MCP. Yeah, you got it, man. You know, if you got to go agentic, you got to get jacked, right? That's the rules, right? Anyways, cool. There. All right. Just checking a couple things here. Cool. Also, good to see you, Sebastian. Thanks for hopping by. Let's see if mcp-ui is in here. I feel like it's mentioned probably. I feel like they support it because pretty sure I saw because Shopify uses Libra Chat. They have like a fork they maintain, but they push back upstream stuff that makes sense too. But Uh, where is MC they do mcp-ui, so, like, I figure they're probably using it here, but I could be wrong. Anyways, I'll check it out later, but, so the goal here is a couple things. So, um, this is obviously just running locally right now. Let's take a peek. We don't need this. Also, since you just joined, Sebastian, you can see this. Currently, this is just the website I made like 2 years ago. Literally just a dinky animation for Swole devs. But let's close that. What's going on over here? All right, cool. Yeah, so the idea is to use an API for getting like exercise information, maybe nutritional stuff eventually. I found this one, Exercise DB, maybe. Um, the idea here right now is I just don't want to pay for an API because this is just like an example, not example, but it's like if it became a real thing, I guess we could just have it so that um, people could use an API key potentially. But the other thing is, I found this other one. What the heck is it called? Oh yeah, uh, I don't know what this is. Wooger or WGUR project or workout. I don't know. I don't even understand what it stands for. But basically, they have an API that you can pull down locally. It scaffolds, and so I was thinking of just using that. And so essentially, we've got the MCP server running already. We throw in the public API for WGR or whatever it's called. This is going to get us exercise information. It has nutritional stuff too, but I just want to scope it down to just exercises for now. And so the idea is you would like obviously there's devs, but like this could be useful for anybody to be honest. But you basically use we wouldn't allow people to save workouts and stuff right now. There's like the API supports that, but I really just want to say like, you know, give me a workout, and like we could investigate saving them later. But the idea would be like, I don't know, I want to train upper body today. Give me a hit workout or like give me a high volume workout, something like that. And you just be asking in natural language to the MCP or in your whatever you're using for your MCP client, whether that's Goose like VS Code or like the MCP demo app I have here, and that would just give you back that information. That's the first step. Once that works, I want to incorporate mcp-ui, which is this newer library. It's still like heavily in development as far as I know, but the idea would be then you could surface rich UI. So I could say like, give me give me that upper body hit workout, and then it has links to videos and stuff. So like I'd want to generate like, an embedded YouTube video in the MCP client, for example. You can obviously have like basic links and stuff to stuff, but I think it might be just kind of neat to just have the workouts there, and then you're essentially just on your laptop or your tablet or whatever, and then you're just, you know, got that MCP server bootstrapped to your MCP client, and then you can just say, "Give me a workout." And I'm sure this is going to exist for real if it doesn't exist already, but that's kind of I don't know, kind of like my second real MCP server I want to make. So that's the idea here. Just doing a time check. I have a hard stop in 50 minutes because I'm running a meeting, but just gotta check a couple of things for work. Also, hope everybody's day's going well. I've been super busy, not a bad thing, just busy, busy. Um, cool. That's all good there. What's going on over here? Just see what's going on in my Netlify alumni Slack. Oof, oof, that's a bad one. Okay. Not a bad one in the in the Netlify alumni Slack. That's what I meant. There's somebody posted. There's this like click jacking thing. I'll paste it in the chat. But that seems pretty rough. I'll go post that over on LinkedIn too. Go boom, boom, boom. There we go. Cool. Uh, yeah, this is the thing I was talking about that somebody shared on my Netlify alumni Slack. I'm just gonna go drop it on my work Slack. Good old click jacking. Boom. Okay, back to regular scheduled programming. So I also just want to see, does swole.mcp.maisonlab.dev resolve yet? Okay, cool. It actually loads now, so that's good. Um, let's just go see if I can change it. Um, SSH. Let's go there, and let's put this back to dev2, and then up here we'll go back to Swole. Okay, disconnected as expected. And there we're back. All right, cool. Let's load this. Okay, cool. It loads now. Okay, so just took a few minutes to propagate. So now if we come back to the MCP here, dev.mcp, both should work. So let's just check the dev2, get latest Go articles. So this should call the dev2 MCP server. It is, okay. And yeah, the tag is Go. All right, cool. That works. Awesome. Let's do a new chat. And let's do Swole. What tools do you have? And it should say Swole something again. Okay, cool. So everything's working in terms of the domain now. I have had a non-zero number of conversations that called this out as par for the course for password managers, and I'm not surprised to see this finally come to light. I actually haven't read the article yet, so I just shared it, but let me just see it real quick. Yeah, the click like for context, I used to work on a password browser manager extension for McAfee. So DOM-based extension jacking exposes popular password managers to credentials, blah blah blah, by independent researcher. Anywhere on an attacker-controlled website could allow attackers to still use it. Yeah, see the thing with password managers is or like browser extension in general is you literally become part of the website. And so like that's why you can inject into the DOM at JavaScript, CSS, etc. That's how you're able to get those little widgets for like the password managers and stuff. But they're saying if you end up on a malicious site, so ba, 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 tricked to performing a series of actions on a website that appears to be harmless, such as clicking on buttons when in reality they are advertently carrying out the attacker's bidding. Yeah, I can see this happening. Um, I guess the general thing is, never go to sites you don't trust, I guess, but there's got to be better ways to do this. Yeah, so Socket, I don't know the people at Socket, but I know some people that do, but they're pretty good in terms of finding these things. They're all working on fixes, while one password and LastPass marked them as informative. I know LastPass you shouldn't really be using. It's just not as good as one password, and I can't speak to the other ones. Well, iCloud is probably solid. The web's version of kernel level access. Yeah. Um, until fixers are available, it's advisable to disable autofill in their password managers and only use copy paste. That's good to know. Let's see here. All right. Boom. Okay. Never mind. That meeting I was supposed to lead, it's canceled now. So I don't need to fill in for somebody. We're doing it Monday. So Monday now, right? Cool. All right. Well, in that case, I don't have a hard stop, or at least I don't think I do. Let me check the rest of my calendar for today. Ba-da-ba-ba. Uh, nope, nothing else. Okay, cool. All right, so let's get back to this here. Yes, hooray, cancellations. um, cool. All right, so yeah, so we've got the MCP server there now. That's great. So basically, what we need to do now here is we come to VS Code. Now we can try it in VS Code. I have beast mode enabled. Uh, this is going to be a one tip a week that I'm going to share at some point. But if you aren't already, one tip a week.com or is like a weekly dev tip I share every week. People want to check that out. I know Charles is a subscriber, or you were at some point. No worries if you unsubscribed, but I'll just drop it in anyways for people. Cool. Um, all right. So yeah, so beast mode is Burke Holland. Is that his last name? Holland? Yeah, I think Burke Holland, who's on the VS Code team, came up with this beast mode. So like if we can configure modes and we go to beast mode, essentially there's like tools you can say that it'll allow to run. It's just a bunch of stuff. Think of it like system instructions on steroids for your for Copilot, basically. I guess that's the easiest way I would classify it. Okay, so we have our main file here. So if we come here, index. So this is strictly coming from my MCP server template. So we can see here, there should be tools. I made this while I was in San Francisco, but boom, boom, boom. No, it didn't stop sending it to you. I just meant like sometimes friends subscribe to people's newsletters when they start, but then they unsubscribe because they're just like, okay, I don't really want to get this, and that's totally cool. But it sounds like, yeah, that's not you because you're like, what? I'm unsubscribed. Okay, so we have tools here, and essentially we want to do kind of like what we did with the dev2 server. So if we I don't have that on here, but what we want to do is we want to create a plan. So help me create a PRD to implement a Swole MCP server. Let me zoom this in. This is like obviously super huge right now, but the goal of the MCP server is to serve or to provide exercises and workouts to individuals. We'll leverage the wgur API and surface it in the MCP server as tools. Combine API calls for tools if it makes sense, given the criteria of that tool. For example, we probably have a tool called exercises, but also a workout, we'll say call exercise, but also a tool called workout, which might end up calling the exercise tool, or maybe a combination of API calls to generate and return a workout. Okay, we need to first install the API locally and have it run via Docker and bootstrap it or and seed it with the initial data as per instructions in the repository. And then, um, yeah, that should be good. The MCP server will connect to that API that is running in Docker. We'll only leverage the public API calls, none that require a login or bearer token. Okay, that's good. Um, this is the project. Okay, where is it? wgur. I really want to know what it's called. And I had it open before. Claude. Where was it? Boom. There we go. Okay. Okay, yeah, their live API. I don't want to use their live API because I don't want to have to rely on that necessarily to get throttled potentially. I mean, I guess I could. We could start off with the live API, I guess. So let's go to that. Let's see what do we got in here. API root. Okay, so let's see here. Um, let's do this. This is the API. Okay, so this should generate a PRD. Let me go to my notes. Boom. Okay. Fetch web page. Yes. Okay, that's good. Boom. Let's continue. Sure why it asked me twice, but okay, continue. Let's just say allow in this session. Okay, while that's loading. All right. So basically right now it's just determining which ones are public and which ones require or are gated API calls. So they have the list. Now, the way I typically vibe code, I know vibe code has a bad connotation, but um, okay, cool. Um, what was I gonna say? My brain froze. I was multitasking and reading a LinkedIn message at the same time. Um, I forget what the heck I was saying, but basically, it's determined. Oh yeah, I was saying vibe coding. So like the way I typically vibe code is don't always have a PRD, but I'm trying to generate one right now and then use that to implement things. It does seem to work well. Obviously, the more context you can give about something, the better. But once it actually makes something for me, my first check, like even before I start getting critical of the code or anything, is just like, does it actually do what I asked it? And like I know that sounds obvious, but like, does the MCP work server work? Okay, great, that's awesome. And then I kind of go from there. Okay. So, uh, although I am a fan of Copilot, I do find still, and I know they're aware of this, but sometimes it's just slow generating stuff. I'm not sure why, but and I know they're aware of it, but okay. So you can see here. So it's creating the core MCP tools, utility tools, I guess. Um, Key capabilities. Okay. So core infrastructure and basic tools, advanced workout features, quality and performance. Okay, so it created a PRD. So if we look over here now, if I just close the side for a sec. So we have the PRD, which is good, and it tells us what to do. All right. I think that looks pretty good. I'm not going to read the whole thing, but this is a live stream. Although you can listen to me read through a whole PRD if you want. So essentially, it looks like it's set up pretty well. I like that it's got caching in there too because we are hitting an API. So like the MCP server itself, I think in this particular case, like if we've already gotten a particular exercise, we can probably cache that. Maybe depends how the API works. Like I'm assuming it's using query strings and stuff for gets, but let's see here, error handling. So core infrastructure and basic tools. All right. Okay. Yeah. Let's implement phase one and start off with that. So while this is running, it should restart the server occasionally. We also have structured logging in here, which forgot I had added, which is good. We can close that for now. But basically, let's see what it's doing here. Let's close that. So package JSON. So, okay, it's updating some stuff. That makes sense. Okay, sure. That's cool. That is not my email. It is nick@nickit.co. See, how did he even get that? nickit.co. Okay, let's just hide the bottom here. Okay, node cache. Okay, wait. So let's stop. Avoid Axios. Use native fetch only. You don't need Axios. You could, but it's just not necessary. All right, cool. Let's save this. Let's just let it run. Let's see what the kid can do. All right, so I'm gonna let that go ahead. And while that's going on, we can see here like Swole. What tools do you have? It might, I don't know if it's implemented anything yet, so it might not show any. Knowledge or my knowledge. Sure. Okay, cool. Echo back provided message. That's just what I provide as the default tool. Oh yeah, no worries, Charles. Take care. Thanks for hanging as always. Cool. All right. Ba, ba, ba. Just going to drop a link to somebody. It's going to join on the live stream. Ba, 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 ba. Okay. Let's do that. Just going to respond to them while this is generating. Let's see what we got here. All right. All right, still going. Adding a service layer when it's convenient. You can grab a slot here. I'll send it via email to. That's good. This will be fun. Gonna hang with the creator of LibreChat at some point, which is nice. Ba-da-ba-ba. Let me do this. Live stream. All right, so it's implementing the basic MCP tools now. Live stream for a chat with Nick Taylor. Guess. Let me just send this off because I'm multitasking. I got my agent doing its thing. All right, cool. There. Boom, boom, boom. Boom, boom. All right, still going. Like I said, once it's done, I'm gonna just see if it works, and then we'll start digging into like what it actually implemented. Cool. Um, Gotta drink some water. All right. Summarizing okay, sounds like all right, yeah, you go fix those TypeScript issues. You go, you go, girl. Um, let's see if we have anything yet here. Let's do new chat. I feel like it might have a few tools now. Not yet. Okay, cool. It's all good. Let's come back here. All right. Yes, you need to update the index to register all the tools. So it sounds like we're almost done here. I'll also say, also, if the echo tool is still there, remove it. That is just from the template. Okay. This is where like yeah, I feel like it does take a little longer in here. Like I said, I know they're working on it, but I've really been enjoying the CLI experience with like Claude Code. Also, Open Code's really good. I just use a mix of tools. Continue.dev, where a couple of my old coworkers work. I've started to use it a bit. It looks pretty interesting too. I just haven't had a chance to dig into it too much yet. But okay. Do. Okay. Continue. Right. Compiler's been working for this problem for a while. It can continue or you can send a new message. So let's say pause. Okay. Also, if the echo tool is there, remove it. If you need an example of an existing MCP server that leverages the MCP TypeScript SDK types C, and I gotta show my dev2 MCP. And I gotta make sure that is the, which tools do I have enabled? Built-in, yes. A GitHub pull request, no. Where is the GitHub one? There we go. Okay, there we go. I can see clearly now. That's good. Good for you, buddy. All right, that's good. All right, well, that's going on. Do. All right, where are we at? Okay. I don't know if it needs to follow exactly the pattern from the dev to MCP, but I guess it's probably a good example. All right. And while that's going on, I'm just going to check Discord. All right. I'll let that keep working. Oh, okay. I see the issue. I need to, sure, go ahead and rewrite it. We'll go look at this after, but let me update the server description. Yeah, cool. All right. All right, great. The build succeeded. Now, okay, you didn't need to start it, but okay. Okay, sure. All right. Okay, it's just doing another check. All right, let's, I'm gonna stop. Oh, wait, continue. Okay, yeah, it returned stuff. That's good. Okay, so I'm guessing there's type errors. Uh, okay, I know what the issue is. Okay, hold on. Let's see here. Yeah, okay, it didn't know what to do. So basically, um, yeah, I'm using Vite in the template. Vite is used to build the main bundle when you deploy. But when you're running locally, it's not like a website like if you're doing like a Astro site or any other Vite based one. So I just basically do node in watch mode and I strip the types, but you have to add the TypeScript extensions to the imports, and that's what it was complaining about. So let's see if that fixed it. Um, I'm gonna go look at pause. Let's go see what's up. Okay, I'm gonna zoom this out for a second here. uh, exit. Yeah, let's just kill a bunch of these. Kill terminal, kill terminal, kill terminal. Okay, this is the one we had running. So, all right, it's complaining in index.ts. Okay, so the problem is if we zoom in here, I'll just say keep. So this goes white. Okay, that should be okay. Let's do clear. Cannot find. Okay, Wigger API JS. Where is that? Okay, this should actually be just. I don't have it installed actually. Why is it? Okay, so it's trying to grab types that where that doesn't exist. Okay, that makes sense. Okay, so let's do this. Let's just go check the package JSON. Let's just get some real estate here. All right, keep, sure. I just want to keep all of them, sure. Keep. Okay, let's go to the package JSON. And the reason why that fails is because there is no WGR types. Okay, so let's do this. The build is failing because there is no wger api.js package installed, and I don't think one exists. For now, we can use type aliases to type all the non-existent uh, type imports, e.g. type exercise equals any. This is obviously not something you put in production. I'm just trying to get something to work at the moment. I don't think it understood the message. That is not the. Oh, there is a. Oh, there is a. Oh yeah, yeah. That's right. Okay. It's it was looking at an import, sorry. Like an import in the project. Yeah. Okay. So that should be okay. Okay. All right. So here, and let's just change this to replace. Okay, failed to run. That's fine. Not fine, but okay. Let's just get some real estate here. Okay, wger service. There we go. That should be okay. What did it not like? All right, can't find it. Cannot find module. I gotta zoom this down. Let's see here. Oh, because this should be cache TS. Okay, now it's gonna complain about something else. Transformer JS. Yeah, okay. So basically T T T. Okay, now there's something else. Config.js. Okay, here in the cache. Boom, boom. config.js. There we go. Getting there. Okay, so let's actually just look for this. And we want to admit star.json, star.md, uh, and beat config. Okay, index. Okay, that looks good. Okay, and we want to replace this with .ts, and let's replace all. Getting there. Cannot find module. Okay, those are weird imports. Not weird, but do we have the SDK installed? We should. Model context protocol SDK, yes. Okay, so let's do this. Let's get rid of that. Let's just start off like this. There we go. And what else was I missing? Okay. One sec. Let me undo that and let's put back what we had. So there's MCP server. Where is that one? Okay. Okay, so let's do this. That's good. And let's just comment these out. Let's look for streamable. Let's import that properly. There we go. Cool. Where did it import that? Okay. That should be import type. Okay, so that's good. And initialize request. All right, can get rid of that. And this actually isn't a type, it's a class. So let's, oh, okay. That all looks good there. Okay, and let me just check one other thing. All right. Okay, that all looks good. So let's go to that equipment TS. Okay, it's saying it doesn't expose an equipment. I see equipment there, so why that module, blah, blah, blah. Okay, let's go to data transformer. Equipment. In the right. Yeah, okay, there we go. Okay, let's import it. It's right there. So why didn't it like it before? Import. Why is it not liking it? The request module does not export. Okay, I'm going to zoom this down for a second just so I can actually read a bunch of it. I just want to see in the data transformer that here. Okay, if we want a singleton, but that's after, I guess. Okay, so it is saying the requested module does not provide an export named equipment. It does though. Where is it? It's there. It's literally right there. So, and it's complaining about it in data transformer TS. So, bu- p- that's there. Maybe that means, okay, it's used there. It's a type. Just want to make sure that it's a type over there. Uh, oh, API. Sorry, wrong one. We want it to be there. Okay. Export interface. That is right. Okay, let's get back to it. Let's start a new conversation. I get this error even though the equipment interface is exported. Looking at the import statement and comparing, let me check. Okay, what's it saying? Problem is with Node.js module loading. Yeah, I know it's doing the experimental type stripping, which means it blah blah blah. However, there can be an issue when it's not fully processed. The export is there. Okay. Yeah, if the error persists with Vite when you're running the build, why is that? This is something I can dig into, obviously, but it's getting close to the end of the workday, so I just want to see if it can figure this out. Okay, circular dependency. If it's okay, well, let's just see what it says. Still working. Sure, import it from the new types. It's giving the same error, except it's talking about it in the types now. What the heck is the issue? Okay, it is correctly exported. Or okay, the build works fine, which suggests the types are correct. Continue. So the build works, that's good. Why the heck is it? Let's see. Instead of trying to solve the dependency issue with the types, yeah, use type. Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, don't do that. Have them exported and have them imported as types. I think that's the issue. So there we go. Okay, so this probably has to do with the Node.js type stripping. Um, but basically, we're explicitly saying we have to set it. They're types. They're not actual objects in JS. So this is running now. Okay, cool. So this is good. So let's go to. All right. Yes, it's running. Okay. Yes. 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 All right. Cool. I just want to click keep. There we go. Good. Nice. Nice. Okay. Thank you for all the checks here, but problem solved. Yes. Just want to click the keep button. All right. Keep. Let's close that. And let's just exit, 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 exit. And there we go. Server's running now. And let's try this again. So let's do, what tools do you have? And Swole Fitness API can help you find exercises. Okay, I didn't know I guess there's image analysis too. Okay. Build me a, all right, let's just do this. Build me a new upper body workout for strength. See what happens. We're gonna see the tool calls are gonna happen, hopefully. Anything happening over here? Come on. It's like it's choking or something. Let's see here. Boom, 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 boom. Let's see what tools we got. Okay, free text search for exercises, target muscle groups, required equipment, exercises. Okay, I'm gonna attribute this to, I'm just gonna refresh and see what happens. All right. Yeah, I figured that was it. So it's doing some tool calls. Okay, so tool is swole. Okay. This didn't actually make the tool call though. Use the swole tools to generate the workout. Let's see here. We might need to update our descriptions so that they get picked up. Let's see here. Tool calls are being made. New Instagram follower. Okay. Uh, what is taking so long? So this is like a not I don't want to say classic case, but like we have tools available, but they didn't get used. So this kind of looks like the Swole MCP did it, but it didn't. Because at least in the UI I've built here that we've been using for demos, you'll see the tool call happen. So let's try this again. Let's say build me a new upper bodies with the Swole tools. I'm going to be explicit here just to see if it calls it. And then if it does, then we need to just improve the descriptions, I think, of the tools. Okay, search exercises. So now it's calling it. That's good. So it's saying here, category chest, uh, chest, still going. Chest, okay, arm. So, okay. So it's doing a few tool calls to find exercises, which is cool. And if we come over to the server, searching exercises, that's good. So it did biceps, arms, chest. I'm gonna guess there's gotta be triceps in here somewhere. Chest, lats, that's true. Back. This was gonna be tries. No, still biceps. All right, so it's going on for a while here. This is cool though. Okay, timed out. That's okay, but it's clearly making it. Let's do this. Let's do a new chat. Let's do GPT-5 Mini. We'll say build me a new upper body workout for strength with the Swole tools, just for biceps. Just gonna try this just so like it doesn't make as many tool calls and times out, but I just want to see what it does. You can do it, buddy. You should have I feel like people probably know who Ronnie Coleman is, even if they've never followed bodybuilding, or even if they don't know he is, they've probably seen a meme about it or the know the an audio clip where he's like, "Yeah, buddy." So I don't know. Maybe add that to the MCP server. When it comes back with mcp-ui, play a sound or something. I don't know. Okay, this is taking a while. The good news is we did see the tool calls happen. I wonder if we're getting throttled or something, but it looks like things are working to some degree here. Okay, timed out again. That's fine. All right. Get me a biceps exercise. Let's try that. Okay, tool is Swole, search exercises, checking biceps, checking biceps again. I guess because you got two of them, maybe. Who knows? There we go. Now, this here is information that comes back from the MCP server. So that's pretty cool. And we're just a little bit over 5 p.m., which is when I was my time, which is when I was going to stop. So I think this is a good place to stop. So just to recap, we implemented the Swole MCP server. We're leveraging at the moment the I don't know how you pronounce it, but WGER API for exercises and workouts. And we were able to make a tool call. So in this example here, if I just zoom in a bit, we're saying get me a biceps exercise. We'll see that it gets the list of all the tools that we've got. So there's muscle category, equipment, or sorry, that's parameters. But we have different tools in here. So like this is the, where is it? List categories, etc. Get exercise details. There's a bunch of tools in there. So that's cool. And if we close that, we can see it made a tool call a couple times to get biceps exercises. And then we can see at the end it generated a exercise for me, which was a classic one, just regular dumbbell biceps curls. But this is just cool to see. So we've got the Swole MCP server well under development. I guess you could say under development, over development. I don't know what I'm saying. I don't know. Wired up to the API, so it's pretty cool. I'm pretty happy with the progress we made today. So, anyways, we'll see you in the next one, peeps, and thanks for hanging.